Hi all. I told you I would do a overview of my craft room as it's currently set up. This is the door as you come in. This is a view from the doorway. This first closet has non-crafty stuff in it. It has my medical stuff and financial stuff and air conditioners stored there and a few other things, but so it's non-crafty storage. I have my aprons hung here, which I rarely ever put on. I want to get into like paint and stuff like that, so I'm sure then I'll use them. This area here is kind of my cutting area. I usually put my Cricut on that there. I pull it out and set it over here and cut, and then I have my mat sitting here ready to go on. It's usually a big mess when I'm cutting, so so over there I have some stencils and scissors and books to read. My paper trimmer I keep there, along with my cinch machine, which I really need to use more. I used to use it for punching planners because I found a way that kind of worked a little bit. It wasn't the best, but it was better than having to punch each individual hole by hand. I put my machines here, my Explorer, my Expression, which hardly gets used anymore, and my Scan and Cut, which I mainly get the Scan Cut out to cut either printed planner freebies that I've bought, or more often than not, stamped images. I've got IKEA Alex there, which that one's mainly office supplies that me and hubby can use. I hang my mats back there, and up above just has some extra storage of adhesives, and there's an extra glue gun up there, and just things that I don't need that often. And in this calyx above, I keep my embossing folders. The binders mainly have like SVG file, the printouts from Dreaming Tree of that help in assembly and stuff. My color stuff is here. That's stuff that goes to my Cuttlebug. Over here, I've got my Cricut cartridges in this one here, and I filed the handbooks in photo boxes in the closet. My smaller ribbons here, I've got twine and adhesive ribbon and then regular ribbon. I've got napkins over here, and my memory decks and light box supplies and tags supplies and my letters for my light box and my letter board. Behind this area, I've got my fiber fill there, and it's paper for the paper and labels and ink, everything for the printer that's there. The file cabinet way over, the white one has planner supplies in it, and the black one I've got like wrapping supplies in it right now. Eventually I want to get another Alex drawer unit to put underneath there, and so I can divide those up better than what they are now. I've got my vision board, I guess you'd kind of call it. I haven't updated it for this year. Last year my word was health. This year I think it's going to be focus. I need to get that updated, and then kind of my plan for the week. There's some videos and books there that I want to watch or read. Up here I keep my stamp sets. I use 5x7 iris cases for my older Stampin' Up! Sets, and just some other sets that I have. Some of my coloring supplies are over there, the watercolor crayons, my heat wave. A lot of this is more like my color station. I keep markers in that. I eventually want to switch, in that pink thing there, I eventually want to switch those so they're easier to grab than what they are there, but for now it works. My washi is here. These are Cavissel letter trays from IKEA, and then I just made little trays using my scoreboard and paper trimmer. I tried to use cardstock that correlated to what was in there, so like I couldn't do it really with my themes, but my themes are kind of on top, and then my seasonal, which you notice there's some Christmas themed paper there, and Valentine's themed paper, and then just solid colored ones for my rainbow ones. My Copics and Bic Markets, which are alcohol based, so I put them next to the Copics. underneath I have my Totally Tiffany cart that's got my adhesives on it. I keep my, what do I want to call them? God, the words just escaped my head. And I should know I'm working on that Good Organized Challenge. It's for my projects currently in use. They're memento keepers. So I've got those down there and other projects that I'm currently working on. There's a garbage can there. There is another cube unit back in that corner, which I should kind of show you. This one I actually bought at Kohl's. It's got, my stamps are in those bags there, and my clear stamps are in that blue bin. I stored my Easy Press right there when it's not in use. I'm not sure what's in the one. I think more stamps and just some other things that need to be filed. My catalog's there, but I think I'm just going to go with my catalog in my scrap rack. So I think I'm going to delete the second one. Maybe keep one for color, because sometimes I could see using that more than having to flip through the scrap rack if I'm working on a coloring project. My paper's here. It's by themes, season. There's just paper pads there. I think I'm going to break those apart and mix them with my rainbow. And then my rainbow's on the bottom. I still need to get more paper handlers for my paper, because I think right now it's like every other one, and then there's a cardboard one in there, and then there's just some loose area in there as well. This Alex unit has like wreath making supplies, I think that one is. Yeah. The top drawer has tools and stuff in it, and then I've got like pipe cleaners. There's beads and such in the third drawer, and then the bottom two drawers are ribbon and mesh. This drawer is kind of this one's kind of like another color type station. It's got my stickles in it. My Misties and other stamping supplies are in one of the drawers, and there's like crayons and fabric paint and other things in those drawers. I hung up my mat that I use with my Easy Press on the side. On the back, I use the back side of this IKEA unit as well. I've got my stamp pads there. These are my Tim Holtz Distress, and then some other little ones that I have. Punch boards are in more Cavissel units. There's just some little binders there, and the bottom two have like more mesh and ribbon and other wreath making supplies that were too big for the drawers. Up on top I have my Stampin' Up! Paint carousel, and then there's like sequins and glitter, I think, over there. Mainly sequins or chunky glitter. I've got my one little tote here that has my card making magazines in it. I think I'm going to switch how they're stored. It's one of the things I'm doing. And that closet back there has my back storage and some other storage. I keep some my card making mats back there, and there's 3 Raskog carts. One's for planner supplies, one's like a bill paying station, and then the other one is, right now it's set up for Valentine's. It's kind of current, whatever current type of themes that I'm working on. This is kind of where I do most of my work when I'm scrapbooking or card making or making wreaths. So I'll do some of my wreath stuff over there because I have the cutting mat there. But anyways, this is usually where I sit when I film too, as you can tell. Anyways, that's pretty much an overview of my room. It's a nice size room, but I find, since I used to just scrapbook and card make, and this room would have been really perfect for that, but since I've had to retire because of my health, I had to retire a little early, and with social media I've gotten involved in more crafts. Like, I used to just scrapbook, and then I got into card making, which that wasn't so bad because they kind of use similar supplies. But then I got into the wreath making and the planning, and I'm interested in, and I do coloring now, which I didn't do before, and I'm kind of interested in learning how to paint, even though I'm not sure how good I'd be at that because I can't really draw, but I'd love to be able to paint. Up above in the room, there's this plate rail, that goes around the room. My daughters used to have collections of plates, and this was their room before they moved out. I just put different decor items up there now, as you can see. It's a nice big room. I told my husband we're not moving unless I can have a room that's at least this big, if not bigger. I see so many things that I'd like to have, and I'm like, I don't know where I'd store them. But anyways, that's an overview of my room. I will show you it is not completely organized because I have this box down here of paper scraps that I need to deal with. I'm going to do that this challenge, this Get Organized challenge. Next week is paper during the Get Organized challenge, which I have that set up with that. But I need to get where I either take care of those scraps as soon as I'm done with cutting the project out, or I need to set like Friday is my day to do different types of crafts that I don't do I don't routinely do like the wreath making. I'm not making a wreath every day. So I have that kind of set aside for that, or painting or something like that, something a little bit more out of my right initial comfort zone at least. So I'm thinking I might try to do my paper either on that day or on Tuesday when I have reserved for like classes because the Good Organized Challenge is always on Tuesday, and I have a few free classes that I've gotten that I need to go through and get taken. So I kind of have Tuesday set aside for that type of thing. So I'm thinking maybe I'll try to do that. I keep my P-Touch embellish right there. But I always try to keep water nearby. Anyways, that's my room. Hope you enjoyed the little tour. And I know I'm lucky to have a space. A lot of people don't. But I've been crafting for over 20 years, and I've only had a space for the last couple of years. I think initially I got the space downstairs in the dining room in, I guess it's been about 5 years now, because I think it was 2013. No, it was 2014, because it was after my mom died, so it was 2014. So I've had it about four. I think it was about 4 years ago now that we started converting the dining room into my space. And then when the girls moved out last year, we moved it up here. I have a little more room. And I don't feel like if I'm in the middle of a project and I have to leave it out, I don't feel so bad because it's not right where everybody walks through. And downstairs, that was one plus to being out in the open, is I felt I had to keep it clean because I was right out in the open. Well, anyways, hope you enjoyed the little tour. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time.